Hi guys. We good? We're talking today. We're just talking. Various topics. Please note that from now on, the classes are on Monday and Friday. Not just because I said so, but in the poll, the day Monday and Friday individually came out the more often. So this is what's happening, Monday and Friday. There's always a recording. I said we were just talking today because I wanted to address a topic. Now that I see you logged online and I feel the Dharma, I'm going to do simple practice. So change topic. We're going to focus on the heart. So the heart chakra is not just on the surface, it goes through the body. Now we're focusing on the heart area, the organ, the physical organ, and the energy area here. Just focus on the heart. Please let's not get too new agey about it, but it's pretty new age practice actually. Focus on your heart. Cheesy, right? It's simple. Simple, focus on your heart. Okay. Try to stay non-dramatic, meaning non-theatrical, not wanting to engage emotionally, not being poetic. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh. Which sometimes it is, and that's how you feel. This time, just focusing here, being calm about it. So you give it time. One of the aspects that actually slows down this kind of practice, the focus practice, is the drama, the theatricals. When we want to see more than there is to see. When we want to... Something inside us is so much in need of love that when you do a simple practice, like focusing on your heart, you fantasize on more than the practice. You would see your heart exploding with light. You would see people giving you love you so much need. There will be a motivation inside to try to get more. So identify those patterns and try to come back to the most simple expression. Just focusing on there. That's it. So it's a peaceful and calm practice. It seems to take more time to take effect because we're not dramatizing the practice. We're not amplifying the visualization. We're just focusing on the heart area, the heart chakra. It seems to take more time, but actually it's more pure to do it calm and absorbed. It's very simple. There is a goal to that. I will tell it after the practice. I want you to just be exposed to it at the most natural state. The majority of techniques we learn those techniques for a reason, and we want to know the reason. And once we know the reason, we focus on the result immediately. So instead of doing just the practice, we're doing the practice for that reason, hoping to get this specific result. And that too, that expectation of the result, hinders the practice. Of course, I'm going to tell you why we do this. And if you practice afterwards, be careful when your intellect is focusing on the result. What I want is that actually you'll start practicing because you want to develop this skill. You have to be worried that, not worried, but worry. Pay attention, be ready to disengage the personal desire, even though that's what motivates you to do the practice. When you go to the practice, be as simple as possible. Just focusing here. Try to stay incarnate and not transcend, but don't focus on Manasvin or an actual transmigration incarnation. Just try to stay conscious, focus on the heart. All right, change of focus, please. Third eye. Just your focus is on the third eye now. The area here without precision. Those who are religiously trained like myself, we tend to put fingers and pull up. That's not natural. That's trained. So just the area here. And it goes into the center of the head, but don't be precise about it. But it's not just the surface, it's the area, and it goes inside. But don't be precise. Just third eye. Focus is on the third eye, as simple as possible. Very simple practice. If you see your mind fantasizes on stories, it's okay, but come back to the practice. Try to come back to the practice with a very simple focus. Right now, there's no mantra for that. There'll be a mantra later. Just want to start with simplicity. Never practice this while driving? Huh? You agree? But yes, you can practice it in the bus or on the plane. Whenever you'll get on the plane. Oh, did I just stimulate you to think about other things in the practice? Oh my God. Come back to the practice. Simple focus on the third eye. All right. Took a few minutes to activate the heart area by focusing, and then the third eye area by focusing. Go back to the heart. Okay. The mantra is Karmabal. I've taught that mantra before. Karmabal. K-A-R-M-A. That's karma. And Bal. B-A-L. B-A-L-A, but the final A is mute. So Karmabal. Bal is power. Karmabal. It's focusing on the heart. Karmabal. The heart area is sensitive, feels things. So as you contemplate Karmabal, the power of causality, with your attention on your heart, you get to feel the influence of karma, the power of karma. Therefore, that practice cultivates your intuition. It causes you to feel the events that are preparing now. It might give you an impression of what is to come in the future, but that is an illusion. It makes you feel what is preparing now. What is the causal force, or the karma, now? Karma is what is currently trying to manifest. So yes, it will manifest in the future. But it is the force active now that you feel. If that karma changes, then the manifestation will change. Karmabal, focus on the heart. Aware of the current karmic situation and its influence. Just focusing on the heart. Karmabal. Karmabal. Be simple. Because we use the word karma, you might be tempted to dramatize, to be theatrical about it. Come back to the most simple expression of it. Karmabal. Connecting, well, you're not doing that connection. It happens naturally. You're focusing on the heart. It connects your ability to feel, your radar, if you want, the causal plane, and its influence. Karma. All right. Now you switch the focus to the third eye. As simple as possible. Focus in the third eye. Karmabal. the area between the forehead here and the center of your head, but without precision, just the area. Karmabal. The frontal lobe and the frontotemporal area of your brain is about creativity and taking decisions. Your third eye is about manifestation. So this area at the physical and energy level is about your active effect. Karmabal, focusing on this area gives you access to the power of causality, and it cultivates your influence. So connecting your sensitivity to Karmabal gave you a perception of it, or a sense of revelation. Intuition is just something that reveals itself. With this aspect, it gives you an influence to it. That doesn't allow you to change your karma, no. It gives karma more power, more efficiency. It allows you to manifest more, to influence your life more. To change karma, you have to do personal growth. It's the only solution. Causality is the result of the events that radiate from your choices and your responsibility. There's no other access to karma than the events of your life, because it's made of events of life. So choices and actions, decisions that you make and how you put them into action, this is what builds your karma. You want good karma, you do good choices or virtuous actions. Okay. Once you do personal growth and cultivate good actions and produce for yourself good karma, positive causal influence. And Karmabal, just focus on third eye, Karmabal causes you to have more influence on nature. It amplifies your karma. So you better make sure you have a good one. Being afraid of your karma, it's useless. Integrate it. You learn about emotional integration and integrate your fears. Build faith and self-trust. Okay. For some reason I cannot see the comments, so I just hope someone wrote Karmabal. I imagine someone did. Karmabal, focus on the third eye. Focus on the heart area. Don't push away or react to what you've cultivated in third eye. Just go to the heart and let the other phenomena work themselves out. Karmabal. Karmabal, the power of causality. Feel it. Be receptive to it. We're going to make this practice a bit more complicated. You're going to focus on both areas at the same time. The heart area and the third eye. Karmabal. So you're focusing on three things: the heart, the third eye area, and the mantra, Karmabal. On the surface, it seems to be both areas are active, but where they reach inside, because you're focusing on both area here, inside your body, they connect in your central channel. They naturally do that. You don't have to force it. Both areas connect inside. Karmabal. Okay. Not because of Karmabal, but because of focusing on both areas. Inside, they will naturally build links. In your brain, when you practice something often, you build neural connections. You don't have to think about it. The neurons will connect themselves naturally. In the same way, when you do spiritual practice, the nadis, which is the energy connections, they connect. Okay, they cultivate themselves. The channels work out. So you're connecting your sensitivity, your intuition, and your power of manifestation. Well, your influence on causality, which is how events come into place. Causes some kind of convection. What you feel of what is going to happen and what you affect, what you influence, how things are going to happen and with which magnitude. Karmabal, heart area, third eye area, Karmabal, the power of causality. Don't force the connection inside, it's naturally happening. All right, deep breath and relax. Just let go of the practice. There's a third area we're going to contemplate, okay, with this. Somewhere inside us, as there's a place where we accumulate potentials of reactions to karma. Basically, traumas and regrets seem to be the most influence, but there's something deeper. In the place where we have reactions to karma, there's the fear of what's going to happen, and there's the regrets of our bad choices, okay? And that accumulates in the desire area in the second chakra. So the pubosacral area, just above your sexual organs, you don't see the camera now, but just above your sexual organs, below the belly. And it goes through your body, it goes to the sacral bone in the back, okay? So not your anus, not your coccyx, but above the triangle bone, okay? So the pubosacral area, that's the second chakra. In this area is desires. There's a lot of things. There's vital functions, but there's also desires. Your vital functions is what makes your animal want things, okay? So intimacy, specific foods, desires of various, very physical nature, So this is the major influence there. The more you have expectations, the more you have attachments. If you are sexually frustrated, if you have not made peace with the idea, we will never have as much sex as we want. We will never have as much hugs as we want. It is the same feeling that becomes food for the mouth. There's never enough of the food we prefer. And if you take too much, it makes you sick, okay? So there's an animal greed to it, okay? So in this chakra, in this area, the second chakra, the pubosacral area, is reactions to karma, okay? But this is also where we have acceptance of karma, okay? Because in this area is responsibility. In Kuji-in, we learn, okay, that Kyo is how to behave and how responsible we are, okay? So the more personal growth you do, the more responsible you are of your choices in life, the more the chakra is clean, okay? And it will accept causality to flow in you and embody you, okay? So to incarnate causality and densify it inside you as much as possible before it comes out to manifest. Accelerates the process, grounds it, and allows more physical manifestation, more dense manifestations, okay? So instead of waiting for years for your prayers to come, it sinks in very deep, okay? So with the heart, we're sensitive to the current causal thing. I mean, the heart does a lot of things, but in this case, intuition or feeling causality. And third eye, influence. In the pubosacral area, responsibility. So I imagine you're focusing on the area now. Take it relax as I give the class. The more you focus, the more you do personal growth, and that means integrate the fears you have of what's going to happen, your fear of the future. Let go of desires that cannot be accomplished. Mourn things, okay? Not directly related to attachment. Attachment would be the plexus. That's the things you already started interacting with that you don't want to let go. In the pubosacral area is the things you are currently not interacting with and you want to. So the desires that you have that will be unsatisfied, okay? There's a cool phrase that someone told me, the owner of the block where I live, basically, she lives just above me. So once every 2 weeks, we have a conversation for 5 minutes because, you know, I go get my mail and she's on her balcony and hi, you know. That's what breaks my isolation, basically. It's my conversation with her every 2 weeks. She says, but, you know, about a random topic, but life is supposed to be what you make out of it, you know. Life is what you manifested, what you created to be. Oh my God, the biggest new age bullshit that everyone wants to believe so much. We are so full of false hope. This phrase became disproportionate. Life is what you make of it. Life is what you create. All the teachers and the masters I've trained believe in that phrase profoundly because it is a misunderstanding. If you are simple, you can manifest, you influence manifestation. Eventually, there will be a lot of manifestations that are that correspond to what you want. Yes. But the belief, life is everything you make it. Life is what you create. This way of saying it with a guarantee. I have good news and bad news. It's the same news. If you look at the facts, life is a lesson of humility. The facts are how many of those things you had no control of. And they happened not the way you wanted. If you want to clean your pubic-sacral area, you'll have to humbly accept the lesson of humility. Life will happen exactly the way it wants. And this arrogance we have, I will manifest whatever I want. No, you won't. Life will prove to you that's not how it works. Be simple and grateful for all the influence you have. Never being so pretentious to say, I'm the one who creates what I want. It's a beautiful phrase. Of course we can create stuff. Of course we manifest. But the certainty that we build around it is the most backstabbing lie to ourselves. We have an influence on everything, and we have control on nothing. Be simple on accepting that causality flows. Your Karmabal will allow you to taste everything you want eventually. But the arrogance of the human that already takes itself for Brahma accomplished. Life is what you make it to be. It's a certainty that we put in those kind of phrases that are betraying the truth. Life is a lesson of humility. A series of events that will show you that you can get emancipation and it won't work the way you want. Be grateful when you emancipate and mourn whatever you can't have. I mean, that's that's to be yourself. Do you understand? It is true that we manifest, that we create. The certainty with which we affirm it should always be the case is based on greed. We so much want to only have what we want and never accept that we won't. But this is not a beautiful dharma. I've learned everywhere that we can create whatever we want. Look at the facts. Even on the bridge of self-realization, you still won't have everything you want. Because you're not the whole of Brahma. You're still just one local thing, and everything else also has what it wants, which is the will of the universe. Humility, simplicity, to accept the facts, objective facts. You are going to live more and more of what you want. Until you reach the 50% bridge. Some you get, some you don't. You're going to grow old and die. And it's going to happen. Most probably. Let's stay open to possibilities, okay? The more we argue with this greed, the more disappointment we build. I hope that was inspiring. I did say to myself yesterday, I need to teach this tomorrow, and then I had forgotten, of course. When that woman said, but life is supposed to be what you make out of it, not all this bullshit. The truth is, life, causality, events is stuff that happens. It's just there is love in this universe and stuff happens. You have an influence over it, an influence. But the universal influences come in, the natural influences come in, and the personal influence comes in. And all of this flows together. So here is where you are sensitive to the current flow of things. Here is where you manifest and do the influence. And in the pubocycle area is where you accept, where you embrace. Let's see what life gives to me today. Let's see what I will have to mourn, and let's see what I will be happy to emancipate. But you do it humbly, with the humility of acceptance, peace. I will know at the end of the day what the day had planned for me. Of course, I have my influence, but there are things I just won't have. And there are things that I will. As a superior state of being, as opposed to when I'm in an inferior state of being. As a being sometimes absorbed in higher states, I have revelations. I wanted a lot of time alone. I wanted time for that to reveal itself, and now I'm so happy. I was rushing 2 months ago, but now I'm so happy. Little moments of depression followed by revelations of simplicity. It was important for me on my path to have that time alone. I teach you online, I feel your presence, but it's not like a conversation, you know. So yeah, I did create that from a higher level, but as a human, I was thinking for a moment, it's what I have to mourn. It's what I cannot have. Making peace with it is what allowed me to see later, I did create that, but not out of greed for my human, out of dharma, for my soul to have a chance to clean up the excess of satisfaction I accumulated over the years. Oh, I have accumulated a lot of satisfaction. For everything I mourned, there was something that came to satisfy me. I was so happy. Now it was time to let it go, to find peace and simplicity. So I'm grateful now for that. We focus on the heart and practice Karmabal. We focus on the third eye and practice Karmabal. Now we focus on the pubosacral area, Karmabal. And this is where we accept it. This is where we are humble. Causality will manifest itself the way it manifests. The more responsible I am, the less false hopes I have, the more humility I have to embrace it, the happier I will be with the power of karma, the less friction there will be, the less turbulence, the more harmony. So we cultivate acceptance and peace at the pubosacral area, Karmabal. Karma is what happens. It manifests. Mourn this greed that wants to pretend we can create everything. Truth is, we have an influence over everything. An influence. Not the final decision, an influence. And life will teach you to be humble. You get some, you lose some. Trust your power of manifestation. Never be so pretentious to think you have more power than Brahma himself. That is arrogance. That's just greed. Okay. Karmabal. Pubosacral area. Karmabal. Just accepting. Resolve the fear. Cultivate humility. Karmabal. Alright. You've learned about the practice of three suns, third eye, plexus, base. Well, this is not planets. This is a focus on 3 points for your harmony with causality. Okay? So third eye, heart, pubosacral. 3 areas. Third eye, heart, pubosacral. Karmabal. A convection happens inside you. Don't control that. Just observe it. Karmabal. Third eye, heart, pubosacral. And the links will naturally be built inside. Karmabal. Accepting what manifests. Intuition about what manifests. Influence over what manifests. All in harmony. The more personal growth we've done regarding causality, the more harmonious is Karmabal. Responsibility, intuition, manifestation. Karmabal. Karmabal. Third eye, heart, pubosacral. Simply focus. Karmabal. Alright, and relax the practice. That was nice. Alright. Something inside you might have been troubled when I reacted. Calling bullshit the belief that life is what we make it. That's what we create. If you react to that, then resolve it. You can just resolve it easily by refusing what I said. That's the simplest way. Just, okay, sometimes my house full of shit. Forget it. It's okay. Or you can observe the facts. Okay, sometimes we don't get what we want. Okay, that's true. Then you look at the balance. It's humility. We have some, we lose some. Some we never get. It's life. And you work on yourself. You mourn the beliefs that you needed to protect yourself from the fear. What if I don't satisfy all my desires? Well, what if you end up not having everything you want? Well, that's life. You're not. It's gonna happen. It's not. You're not gonna get everything you want. Just gonna be amazed at how much you get once your mind is clear and your influence is rich. Going to be amazed at how much you manifest. But that will come after you've mourned all that is in the way. Life is a lesson of humility. Let's not be so pretentious to think that we are the whole of Brahma and that we know all the influences all the time. It's not true. The things we know them. We have no idea of what we don't know. Whoever says, I can perceive absolutely every influence and everything, is simply someone who has confidence that what they have seen, with a part of ignorance. Let's deny what I have not seen and pretend I see everything. It's impossible. It's impossible. After everything I've been conscious on the causal plane, the influences of forces manifesting, and I was not perfect in my prediction. I was not always precise in my premonitions, my intuitions. I have to admit, there's stuff I simply have not seen. But I didn't know until the manifested event showed me I was inaccurate or completely off. So we have to stay humble. There are influences we have not perceived. Whenever you say, I know exactly what's going on, this is the immediate sign of ignorance. So, well, from a humble way to say it, from what I've seen, what I think is that. From what I've seen, or from what I perceive. Without that certainty, I've seen everything and I'm without fail. Wow. Give life time to show that you can't always be accurate. Can't pretend to be always Brahma, even accomplished. As long as you're an individual, you'll perceive what is within your range of consciousness. And mine, I think, is pretty wide. And it showed me humility. I didn't know what I had not perceived because it was beyond my reach. Sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes it's just beyond my reach. I have a limit in the range of consciousness, of course. I see a lot of things, but I don't see everything. I just see a lot. So I hope you'll be inspired to not be so pretentious to think you always see everything. That's not possible. That's the sign of ignorance. Pretending you are perfect. Competition with Brahma and Vishnu already. Good. So the practice of Karmabal this time. Maybe you can review in the past the Karmabal. I started that direction lately. Third eye, it augments your influence. Heart, it makes you more sensitive to its information. So intuition, revelation. And acceptance, pupposacral area. You do the three. I start with the heart because it was easier. I was about to say focus on third eye, but I felt right now this is what you need to activate first. But you focus on one, the other, and then the other. And then all three. It's just Karmabal. Simple. few minutes, just to make you in harmony with causality. It's a practice you can charge. There's many other useful things to charge. I recommend you do this practice when you see that you are reacting with causality and you want to change stuff that doesn't please you. The first stage will be the mourning, the acceptance, the responsibility. You'll build it up, and then feeling what's going on and having an influence. But that influence cannot be, now you have to fucking change because I'm not taking this shit anymore. If you have that attitude, go back to acceptance at the base, well, at the second chakra, you know, at the foundation of this practice. Okay. We finish with a bit of Shanti, peace. Shanti in both forms. I accept what manifests as much as I influence it. You know, Shanti plays in the same field as Karmabal. Karmabal is more precise. Shanti is everything, you know. Peace. Just make peace. All right. See you Monday.